My deceased grandmother appeared in my dream and gave me 4 numbers. I won thousands in the lottery with them. But when I visited her grave a year later, I discovered something that brought me to my knees. This wasn't a story about luck. Subscribe and stay until the end because I'm going to explain the simple method I applied that you can also start using today. July 2020. Los Angeles was shut down, empty streets, masks everywhere, and I was 5 months pregnant, sitting in the living room of my apartment in Koreatown, staring at my laptop screen with yet another sales report. I worked in insurance, and on the outside everything looked fine. I hit my targets, earned commission, paid the bills. But inside I was suffocating. Every night before bed, the same question hammered in my head. How do I get out of this life of pressure and anxiety and finally build something of my own? I wanted freedom. I wanted a business that would give me time with my baby on the way. I already knew what I wanted to do. Mobile notary, a document signing service that was simple, profitable, and scalable. But every time I thought about starting, an internal voice stopped me. Who do you think you are? You're not an entrepreneur. I was stuck, not for lack of ideas, but for lack of belief. The pressure at work only increased. My manager, Tom, sent emails at 11 p.m. demanding closings. Sarah, you're 15% below target this month. I need to see movement tomorrow. I'd read that with my hand on my belly, feeling my baby move and think, I don't want my life to be like this when he's born. My husband, David, worked as an IT technician, earned stable income, but nothing that gave us room to take risks. He supported me, but every time I talked about opening the business, he'd ask the same question. What if it doesn't work out? We have a baby coming, Sarah. And I had no answer, because I didn't believe it would work out either. I spent hours on Pinterest saving images of women entrepreneurs, reading success stories, watching videos about the law of attraction. I knew the theory inside out. Visualization, affirmation, gratitude. But in practice, I couldn't take the first step. I'd open Google, search how to become a notary in California, look at the requirements, the certification cost, and close the tab. Every day the same thing. That's when I started feeling something different. It wasn't just anxiety. It was desperation. I was pregnant, stuck in a job that drained me, without the courage to take risks, and time was passing. I'd look in the mirror and didn't recognize who I saw. That tired woman with dark circles, pretending everything was fine on work video calls, wasn't who I wanted to be. One night I broke down. I sat on the bathroom floor, crying, and said out loud, I can't take this anymore. I need a sign. I need to know I can do this. I wasn't talking to anyone specific. Maybe to God, maybe to the universe, maybe to myself. But I said it. And it was that same night I made a decision. I was going to do an experiment. For 30 straight nights before bed, I'd write 10 gratitudes in a simple notebook I bought at Target. I'd do scripting, writing as if my business was already running. I'd repeat 2 affirmations until I fell asleep. I am capable of building the life I want, and the universe guides me with clarity. And at the end, I'd ask for a sign in my dreams. Clear sign. Something that would show me the way. I didn't know if it would work. But I knew I couldn't continue the way things were. I did the experiment for 18 straight nights. Gratitude, scripting, affirmations, asking for a sign. Some nights I was so tired I could barely write properly. But I didn't skip any. And then, on the 19th night, in mid-August, it happened. I had a dream so vivid that when I woke up, it took me a few seconds to understand it wasn't real. I was in my maternal grandmother's kitchen in Pasadena, that old house she sold years before she died. The smell of coffee and cinnamon was in the air. I could feel the texture of the wooden floor under my bare feet. And then she appeared. My grandmother, Dorothy. She had died 3 years earlier, but there she was, just as I remembered her. Gray hair pulled back in a low bun, that lavender perfume she always wore, her calm smile. She placed her hand on my shoulder. I felt the weight, the warmth, and said in that firm yet sweet voice, Sarah, you don't need to worry about anything else. Just keep 3-8-6-1. And then, before my eyes like a digital sign, the numbers appeared glowing. 3, 8. 1. I woke up startled, heart racing, sweating. David was sleeping next to me. I grabbed my phone and immediately wrote it down. 3-8-6-1. Grandma Dorothy. 3:17 a.m. I sat there in bed trying to rationalize. It was just a dream. It was longing. It was my brain processing emotion. But the feeling was different from any dream I'd ever had. Felt like a message. Felt real. I didn't know what to do with it. But I knew I couldn't ignore it. The next day, I arrived at the office still with that dream hammering in my head. I needed to talk to someone, but it couldn't be David. He'd think it was pregnancy messing with my hormones. So I looked for Renee, my coworker and best friend. Renee was one of those practical, down-to-earth people, but she always played the lottery, especially smaller games like Daily 4 and Fantasy 5. At lunch, sitting in the parking lot eating salad from containers, I told her everything. The experiment, the dream, my grandmother, the numbers. I expected her to laugh or change the subject. But she looked at me seriously and said, "Sarah, buy the Daily 4 with those numbers. But buy consistently. Don't become a slave to it. Treat it like aligned action, not a desperate bet." I had never played the lottery. I didn't understand the games, didn't know the difference between straight, box, nothing. Renee explained it to me right there on her phone. Showed me how the Daily 4 worked, how to buy online through the California Lottery website. I decided to do exactly what she said. I treated it like aligned action. I bought 3-8-6-1 in 2 different play types, for 2 weeks in advance. Every day I checked the results. Nothing. 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 1 week passed. 2 weeks. Nothing happened. I started getting discouraged. I stopped buying. I thought, okay, it was just a dream. I'm looking for signs where there aren't any. And then came the real test. Renee caught me in the hallway 3 days after I had stopped and said something that cut right through me. "Sarah, you're doing exactly what you always do. You start, don't see quick results and quit. You go back to the same cycle. But this time you're going to do it differently. You're going to trust. You're going to be consistent. Because the version of you that's already turned the corner doesn't give up at the first silence." That hit me hard. She was right. I always did that. I'd start a diet, quit in the second week. Start studying something, give up at the first obstacle. I lived in this loop of self-sabotage. So in mid-August I came back. I went back to buying the numbers. I went back to doing the nightly ritual. But this time I added something. I started acting like the version of me who had already turned the corner. I opened a notebook and wrote at the top, "Mobile notary business, execution plan." I listed the steps. Certification, equipment, marketing, first clients. I started researching for real, not just saving links. Every day I took one small action. One day I'd research the certification course. Another day I'd create the business name. Another day I'd set up a LinkedIn profile as a notary. Small actions. Real ones. No drama. September passed. I kept buying the numbers. Kept taking my daily business actions. Kept up with a nightly ritual. But I changed one fundamental thing. I stopped checking the results compulsively. I stopped trying to control the when and the how. Every night, after writing my gratitudes and doing the scripting, I'd visualize for 1 minute the finished scene. Me signing documents at a client's house, receiving payments saying thank you. I'd feel the emotion as if it had already happened. And then I'd let go. Okay, universe. I do my part. You do yours. In early October, on an ordinary Wednesday, I was lying on the couch watching the Great British Bake Off, eating popcorn, when I remembered I hadn't checked that night's results. I almost didn't care, but something nudged me. I grabbed my phone, opened the lottery app and checked. My heart stopped. 3-8-1. Exactly in order. Great. Blink. Read it again. Checked the ticket I had bought. I'd played in 2 ways, straight and box, and the straight had hit. The prize wasn't millions, but it was thousands of dollars. Enough to change everything. I screamed. David came running from the kitchen thinking I had fallen. What happened? I could only point at my phone, shaking. He read it, looked at me, read it again and said, "Sarah, you won?" I nodded, still not believing it. Renee was the second person I called. She answered, laughing. "I knew it. I knew it would happen. Now what are you going to do?" And I, still crying, said, "I'm going to open my business. I'm going to make it happen." But here's the real turning point. I could have taken that money and used it to relax, to buy things, to give myself a gift after so much stress. But I didn't do that. Because at that moment, I was no longer the Sarah from July who was afraid to take risks. I was the Sarah who had spent 2 months acting as if she were already an entrepreneur. I already had the plan ready. I already knew the steps. So I used every cent of that prize as leverage. I paid for the notary certification, bought the portable printer, the official stamp and seal kit, the professional folders, paid the state fees, invested in local marketing on Nextdoor and Facebook, created business cards, and in 3 weeks I was officially operating. The first client came through a referral from one of Renee's friends. A simple lease contract signing. I earned $75 for 30 minutes of work. I drove back home with my hands shaking on the wheel, crying again, but this time with pure gratitude. The first 3 months were intense. I still worked in sales during the day, but every free moment I dedicated to my business. Second client, 5th, 10th. Referrals started coming naturally. I served clients at homes, offices, even in parking lots when necessary. I was fast, professional, polite. And demand just kept growing. In January 2021, I ran the numbers. My mobile notary business had earned more that month than I made in sales commission. I looked at that Excel spreadsheet and understood. I didn't need that job anymore. Could leave. Could be free. My baby, Noah, was born in December. And when he was 2 months old, I quit my job. Tom, my manager, was shocked. "Sarah, are you sure? You're throwing away a stable career." I smiled and said, "I'm not throwing anything away. I'm building something of my own." David was still scared, but he saw the numbers. He saw my energy. I wasn't exhausted, irritated, anxious anymore. I was alive. I woke up excited. I planned my week with freedom. I took Noah with me to some appointments in his car seat, and clients loved it. In 6 months, I had a solid base of recurring clients, real estate agencies, law offices, medical clinics. I started training other notaries and creating a small network. What started as a solo job turned into a mini business with 3 part-time collaborators. But the real transformation wasn't in the money. It was in who I had become. I looked in the mirror and recognized that woman. She was brave. She was consistent. She trusted herself. A year after that August night, I went back to the cemetery where my grandmother Dorothy was buried. I brought fresh flowers, sat on the grass next to the headstone, and spoke out loud. "Grandma, I don't know if you really came in my dream or if it was my subconscious trying to give me courage. But those numbers changed my life. Not because I won money, but because they made me act, made me believe, made me be consistent." And then came the twist I never expected. When I stood up to leave, I saw a small metal plaque next to the headstone that I had never noticed before. It was the lot number in the cemetery where she was buried. Lot 3861. I fell to my knees. She hadn't given me lottery numbers. She had given me confirmation that she was always with me. The universe had planted this from the beginning, and I only saw it when I was ready to see it. Today, 3 years later, my business brings in 6 figures a year. I work from home at my own pace with my son playing in the next room. But what I learned on this journey wasn't about the lottery. It was about identity. You can visualize, affirm, ask for signs all you want. But if you don't act like the version of you who has already achieved what you desire, nothing changes. Manifestation isn't magic. It's alignment between faith and action. It's consistency when you don't see results. It's letting go of control over the when without stopping your walk. That dream didn't give me luck. Gave me courage. The numbers weren't the answer. They were the push. And the real prize wasn't the thousands of dollars. It was me finally believing I was capable of building the life I wanted. And you are too. If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel and share it with someone who needs this sign today. Your transformation starts now.